Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we'll be talking about one of the most important topics, that is handling missing values in datasets. This is once you have understood the data in feature engineering, the next step is you go ahead and handle the missing values. There are three ways of handling missing values which are generally used. The first is to delete the records. So imagine you have features F1, F2 and F3 with an output variable, and there are some missing values in F1 column, right? So consider this data set where you have missing values in this column. You can just go ahead and delete this column and go ahead with model building. But one of the drawbacks of deleting row with missing data is that imagine you have a very small data set, then you are losing a lot of information if you drop these columns. But if you have a large data set where you have millions of records, then you can just go ahead and delete the rows with missing data, considering that missing values contribute to a small chunk of the total data, right? So one point to note here is always go with this approach only when you have huge data, right? The second method which is generally used is using the statistics technique. So in statistics technique, you use different concepts like mean, median, and mode to replace the data. So what happens is you have either mean, median, and mode. So if there is a feature F1 which has values as, right? So if this is a missing value, you can just impute it using either mean, median, mode, right? So first is when you import it using mean, you just take the average of all the remaining values and replace that with missing value, right? You just directly find this mean value and replace it here. The second is median. So there are cases where mean is not suitable, where you can have a lot of outliers, right? So imagine a number of orders placed and the revenue generated through that orders. So there are sometimes bulk orders and people tend to order a large amount of value. Now means are subjected to outliers, so you might not be able to represent that data perfectly if you use mean. Hence, you can go ahead and use median, where you arrange that data set in an ascending order, and whatever is the median value, you just go and replace that median value with all the missing values, right? The third one is mode. Generally, you use this in categorical features where you understand that one feature is occurring a lot of times, then you'll just go ahead and replace that value here, right? So this is one of the most used techniques in updating the missing values. If you have good amount of time, you can go ahead and use the third technique. The third technique is about using the classifier model, where consider you have features f1 and f2 and f3 and an output variable, and you have missing values in fn variable, right? So what you will do is, this is a data set where you see you have these two rows, the last two rows which has f1 has a, you see f1 has missing values, right? These two columns have, these two rows has missing values. So what you will do is you will use that as a test data, and you will use all these columns as a train data, right? You build a model with features f2, f3 and output as the input variables, right? And you predict using that what is the value of f1 using the train data. Once you have trained this model, you pass this test values, you pass all these values, whatever it's here, and you predict the missing values. So this is how you handle the missing values using the classifier model. Now, one thing to note here is you need to do this for all the columns which has missing values. So you did it for F1 right now. Similarly, you will do it if there are some missing values with F2. You will take F2 as a dependent variable and F1, F3 and output as the input variable, and then build a model. So building this model with huge data sets is definitely time consuming and is not the way forward. So generally, classify model is used with smaller data sets and only for the data sets where only one or two features has a missing values. If you have more than that features, then you'll have to use some other quick techniques like deleting the rows or using the statistics model, right? So each approach has its pros and cons. You need to decide on based on the data set what you are given to which method to be chosen, right? So yeah, hope you like this session, and please do stay tuned for the future update, future videos where I'll be talking about practical implementation of this. So yeah, till then, happy learning, and please do subscribe to the channel for more such videos. Thank you.